Welcome to the dollhouse. It's a Friday night. I am unsure if anyone is going to pop in because number one, this channel is new. Number two, the lives are limited because I don't have 1,000 followers. But hopefully, this content reaches somebody and is impactful to someone. Hopefully, it's impactful to someone who may be obsessing over whether or not they are disadvantaged because they're dark skinned. Um, because I believe that you can think yourself into being disadvantaged by anything. You can believe that your feet are too small and people are looking at you weird because of it. You can believe that you are too skinny, or maybe you're too dark skinned. And whatever it is that you want to internalize, um, that will become your reality. I ran across something that I wanted to discuss and share with you all because there is still so much discussion. I'm surprised by this, but still so much discussion about light-skinned rappers, light-skinned women in the music industry who have an advantage over dark-skinned women just by the mere fact that they're light-skinned. So I ran across the last iteration of this, this ideology on Wild Heart Waves' channel, which is a Black empowerment content creator, a Black femininity type of content creator. And I like a lot of what she has to say. It's good, but then there's that dark skin mess that pops in. It's like a little bit of resentment, a little bit of agitation because there's a light skinned girl winning, and this woman feels slighted. I'm going to play a clip from the video. Again, this is fair use, so I'm going to play what
Big Latto, aka I had to change my name because it was on my tail. Now, I was first introduced to Mulatto on a show called The Rap Game, and I remember first seeing her name, and I thought to myself, who in their right mind, what adults in their right mind would sign off on a 16-year-old biracial girl with an African-American father and a white mother to use a name like this?
Okay, Mulatto. Her name is Mulatto. It used to be Mulatto. Now it's Latto. So I'm going to play a little bit more and then.
The term mulatto originated in slavery as a way to distinguish slave children who were mixed race.
Okay, so most of us know that the term mulatto came up through slavery. And so this girl, she branded herself mulatto, but wouldn't that be what she is called, though? Because a lot of people have called mixed race people mulatto. And so it's like almost like the N word. People these days say the N word over and over. I say it because I do. I mean, sue me. I say it. And a lot of the reason that's given for it being an okay thing to say is because it's being reclaimed. It has no power over us anymore. So why couldn't she also take a source of obviously something that has been painful for her? Why couldn't she take that and reclaim it? The rules are different for mulatto, right? The rules are different for Latto. I'll call her Latto because that's what she's going by now. But I'm just going to keep playing.
Again, as a result of the Jezebel stereotype, many mulattoes were fathered by white plantation owners or their friends. But catch this. Children born to Black slave mothers were born into slavery, regardless of who their father was. And what I found even more interesting was Mulatto's interviews, in that she was bullied as a child for being mixed race.
So Mulatto was bullied as a child for being mixed race. A lot of mixed race women, light-skinned women, have this same story. Darker skin exoticals with the keen phenotype or loosely patterned hair, they've experienced bullying too. Now, I'm not saying that dark-skinned women have not experienced bullying, But she has experienced bullying and she has reclaimed part of her identity. It sounds like to me she decided to own her biracialness, own it head on, and I guess it makes people uncomfortable. I'm gonna continue playing.
So the last thing that I would expect for someone in this position is to use a name like this for their rap career. Because when we look at it for what it is, you are bragging about being light skinned. You are using your whiteness, your image to get ahead.
And my response to that is okay, Anne. Okay, Anne. She's using her whiteness to get ahead. She's using her mixed raceness to get ahead. Okay, and that shouldn't be a problem. That's right. Only blacks seem to be able to police ethnicity, But yeah, absolutely free spirit, and it's okay. Why wouldn't she use the attributes of her character that represent her family to get ahead? It seems as if you can only represent your darker skinned relatives. You can only represent if you have that one drop. You better bow down to that one drop and understand that it makes you a slave. You better bow down to that one drop and understand that you are lesser. Don't ever think that you are a part of the upper echelons. You are one of us. That's the mentality of people who throw shade at light skin, any women, men, anyone, for owning part of themselves. She says that mulatto is taking advantage and using her light skinnedness to make money, to get attention. Um, Hold on, I'm going to just kind of show the hypocrisy in that statement. Um, yeah. For example, Remy Ma, she has a song called Melanin Magic, Pretty Brown. And that's totally okay. That is totally okay for her to have that song. She's trying to make money off of her beautiful, flawless dark skin. What is wrong with that? What's wrong with someone who is light skinned saying that they're proud of being light skinned? I'm going to play a little bit of this Remy Ma video. I don't want to have copyright, but I just want you to see like how, I'm sorry, y'all. I just want you to see how brazen and, um, you know, like how her skin is the center of this whole song. And it seems like, why is it okay for one, but not the other? It's, I'm going to just play. Okay. So as you can see, everything is brown. I wish I could play this. You could see the words, pretty brown eyes. Okay. Let's just look at the words. Uh, you know, I got that up north glow, body looking like cinnamon. I'm running it right now. I think I pulled a ligament. Fashion killer, Elia assassin. Vitamins beyond. I don't know what that means. I got that melanin magic. Brown skin popping. Always fly. Stay in the cockpit. Okay. I wanted, I cop it. Open the door, then locked it. Okay. Every time Remy touch you. Okay. It's all this, and we got Chris Brown on this song. So, I wonder why this song didn't become a hit. Why didn't I ever hear that song? Because dark skinned women didn't really support it. I mean, shouldn't they have supported that? It seems like it only goes in one direction, and the hypocrisy of the whole, message is just, it's something to think about. It's definitely something interesting to observe. There's another rapper popular. Her name is Flo Milli. She's brown skin and beautiful. She she had to come out and basically say, look, it's weird, y'all. Stop saying that I'm not as successful as other rappers because I'm dark skinned. I want to read a little bit about what Flo Milli had to say because, her fans or people around her were saying she's not as successful because she's dark. So the headline reads, Flo Milli tired of fans using her to tear down light skinned rappers. The rapper sounded off on social media. This came out last year, about a year ago. Flo Milli has had enough of the online discussions. Since her 2019 breakout year, fans have claimed that the Alabama rapper doesn't receive the attention her talent deserves because she's a dark-skinned woman. When Billboard donned Ice Spice as the new princess of rap, a play on words for New York rappers Princess Diana single that features Nicki Minaj on the remix, Milli's name returned to the minds of online fans. Someone who, he's doing the comparison thing. I can give 2 Flo Milli verses better than her entire discography, unreleased and deleted. So this is just in response to Ice Spice. And Milli responded to that tweet. She said this: I wish y'all would stop with this tired A narrative y'all love to push about my career. She tweeted, and stop mentioning me while trying to degrade another artist. It's weird. That. Why would we compare them that way? Like, is anybody sitting around saying, like, you know what? Tinashe is not that big because she is light skinned. I'm surprised she didn't blow up and, be way more. Nobody is saying that about Kalani. I don't know if these women aren't big. I know that they aren't as big as Summer Walker or SZA. I'm not hearing Tinashe's voice at the Grammys. So it just, like, it is weird. And she recognized it and she's like, listen, I'm doing great. She says this: I went from being broke to traveling the world with my talent and I'm only 23. Please relax. Exactly. Please relax. She's doing fine. She feels like she's doing fine. So, it's a strange way to make yourself feel bad. To say, my dark skin is going to hold me back. And the best way to combat that, if you happen to be a light skinned woman, is to look at people who have your phenotype. They are out there who are winning, who have been winning. So back to Mulatto. It's just interesting to me that the content creator, Wild Heart Ways, pointed out that, Mulatto, she makes money from being light skinned. She's calling attention to her mixed race heritage and profiting from it. Well, like we saw, Remy Ma has a whole song about being chocolate. Bianca, that Bianca girl that was on New York, Love and Hip Hop New York, Bianca Bunny, I think, she has a song about being dark skinned. And and celebrating that. But again, neither one of those songs went platinum. Neither one of those songs went platinum. Listen, I don't know why. And I doubt that it has anything to do with their skin tone. Maybe it's just that it's like celebrating yourself is always a good thing. I don't know, but it's like there's a little bit of self-doubt in there if you have to say, well, you don't have to tell me I'm pretty. I know it. I'm dark and we're the best. Like, come on. There's always someone prettier in any race. Like, who cares about it? Just maybe that's why these songs didn't really go over, because some people, they're just not relatable. And that's maybe an unrelatable feeling. Focusing on your skin tone as the main topic of conversation. And I don't see that Mulatto did that with her name, making her name mulatto. I don't think that she made that the source of her raps or of a single song. To be honest, I haven't listened to more than one song, but it just, you know, it just makes me think. And then I remember, okay, there's some other rappers who also have their names based on slavery. Say the N word all the time. So they reclaim the N word. Why not reclaim mulatto? Fields Mob. Field Mob, they were out in the early 2000s. They had a song with Sierra called So What? And something about going out while my man is out with his homies. Something like that. It's a cute little song about my man being out with homies. Their name was Field Mob. Nobody raised an eyebrow about these men referencing being in the field like slaves. The video I think was based in a cotton field or something like that. And then there's Young Buck. Young Buck, like a buck off of a plantation. A young buck. I mean, nobody batted an eye. Black Rob. Black Rob. You know, um, Kodak Black. It's totally fine. Totally fine for guys to talk about um themselves and women. I think that just that subconsciousness of feeling like, oh, she thinks she's better. That that it's a weird, I want to call it something specific, but you assuming that someone else is thinking something is for the most part usually wrong, because you never really know what a person is thinking. And if you do, if you know what people are thinking, then you have a rare talent that you should be using as a profession, as a mind reader. So, it just seems like she knows, I know she thinks she's this. She thinks she's so tall. She thinks she's so skinny. She thinks she's so pretty. She thinks she's so pretty because she's light skinned. It's just your jealousy talking and telling you think she's so pretty because she's light skinned. And it just, it's something to think about, y'all. I don't know much, but what I do know is that as adults, you should go ahead and feel like, yeah, you are pretty. Yeah, you are pretty because you're light skinned. You are pretty because you're light skin, wavy, or wavy brown skin, or just whatever it is that you have that makes you a pretty girl. You're one of the dolls. You should feel proud that you're dark skin with the lace front, light skin with the lace front. I don't know. I don't care. But you should feel confident in that. And you should feel like, yes, I am that chick. That's the point of all this, really. And to point out, just to root out that bit of jealousy, the denial of the jealousy, because denying it is like keeping it in the closet and it's growing into just a big monster. But you air it out and you can address the source of your jealousy. Maybe there is some jealousy with thinking about the mulatto women and the octoroons, um, quadroons, the women that were enslaved that did get the attention of the rich men in society who wanted uh, prostitutes, who wanted concubines, and they created families. That was something that I showed in one of the other videos that I made about the original Deadbeat Dads. There's a movie that depicts how in New Orleans, the mulattoes, I think the movie was called Octoroon. And it's all about how these women were basically prostitutes to the elite men in society. And Perhaps there were slave women that would much rather have been a well kept woman rather than a woman working in the field. And that's understandable. Maybe that's where that bit of envy is created. Or even after that, in society where, they have some proximity to whiteness that perhaps did give them a similar phenotype to the slaveholder, um, and they just felt othered. They felt othered, so they maybe built some resentment from that. And I'm not saying that I don't understand the resentment. I have a dark skinned mother. My father is the elder barge of the relationship, and I remember how she was very much my grandmother was the most colorist woman and the most racist ever in life. She hated black people. She hated white people. She didn't like women. She liked men, of course, and she also liked my brothers and her sons, and she liked the lighter skinned family members. And she would say things to the darker skinned family members that are the source of probably a lot of, if they have any internalized hatred towards light skinned people, it's probably because of our grandma. And she was born in 1919, and I believe she was born into sharecropping, and they had to escape from it. 1919 is 105 years ago. They had to escape from plants sharecropping, which was, in essence, it was really slavery. So, those attitudes did pervade in our family. And I think I'm going to make a video about just the colorism experiences with my mom and my grandma, because if I felt at any point that I had an advantage because of my skin color, it was, I got that from them. And my grandma wasn't dark skinned, but, and she did have dark skinned children. Anywho, yeah, y'all, this is a wild journey down the rabbit hole of the internalized colorism. We can say reverse colorism. The rabbit hole goes pretty deep, and it goes deep enough to the point where people have been physically attacked based on these types of jealousies. And I think that happens because the jealousy is ignored. It isn't embraced. Women and femininity, that's one thing that is a big part of femininity. Embracing your emotions. And if you embrace the jealousy, it can really help you to figure out what ways you can improve so that that jealousy is eliminated. It's okay. It's natural to be jealous. Other cultures of women understand and embrace their jealousy. And I think it's because they may have been more free to embrace their emotional selves. That's where we have to find our freedom, because we don't have any real systems working against us in the United States. There are no laws that protect white people that don't also protect us. So the things that we have to free ourselves from are old shackles related to uh, things like jealousy, not being able to honor one's emotions, things like sadness or depression. Owning those things as feminine women, that is a big part of the growth in this community, I believe. And I actually read a book once, and it's don't be scared. Okay, I read lots of books. Don't be scared by the title of this book, but it's called The Satanic Witch. And the whole book is basically about how to be a witch. It's written by the founder of Satanism, and the whole book is basically how to use makeup, how to use your beauty or lack of beauty to get what you want out of men. Now, if you have, the more beauty you have, the more that you can get, the less that you have, the more that you have to use other ways to get what you want from the world. And you can actually maximize your ugliness and use that too. But anyway, I would recommend that book. But there's a test to tell you whether or not you're a natural witch, if you have that capability. And one of the questions is, do you get jealous? Internally, I was like, yeah, I do. But I was like thinking to myself as I took it, no, that's like the wrong answer. No one, no one who has any magical sense of self, they don't get jealous. But of course, that is a trait of someone who is in tune with their emotional self, who is in tune with their inner power, their inner dialogue, the divinity within. And I'm saying divinity even in context of that book, because for me, spirituality is, it has both dark and light elements. So that is, there's the destruction and the creation, and neither one of them can be without the other. So anyhow, I think that it's important that we have these discussions to shine light on actual jealousy, and also so that the darker skinned black women, the unambiguous black women, can really see that they don't have any excuses anymore. In the year of our Lord 2024, whoever's Lord, in the year of 2024, nobody has to be ugly. Light skin, dark skin, nobody has to be ugly. And also, hair has come so long. Hair care has come such a long way. Y'all, I was a natural in the 90s when it was not popular. I knew that my hair had hope and potential, but times were tough in the 90s if you had a natural. And I definitely did. And I did not know how to style it or what to do with it. I was in high school, junior high school or whatnot. And yeah, I'm as old as Methuselah, y'all. But all we had was like Proline, Jam, Miss Cool, 5-minute fast set, that pink lotion, that lustrous pink oil lotion, Bergamot, of course, Do Grow, Blue Magic. Just we had the worst hair products. I mean, let me take that back. We didn't have the worst hair products. We just had what we had. We had what we had, and we made it do what it do. But in the year 2024, 4Z hair. You can have 4Z hair and grow it long. The locks, and I'm talking about, braiding, locking, being a straight natural, just wearing your afro hair. At this point, it's all accepted, and there is no advantage that women have over darker skinned black women. The hair can be grown. I don't care what history has said. 4C hair, 4F hair, 4W hair can grow. In worst case scenario, you can throw it in some locks, and they don't have to look like those free form Jay-Z locks. Because if you do that, you're setting yourself up to be ugly. I don't care what people think about what I just said. If you wear those, you're setting yourself up to look weird. Why do that? But that's always an option, and it's unique to the African phenotype. Of course, people of other races wear locks, and that should be taken as a form of flattery. But nobody does it better than somebody with a 4C hair type. So there's no excuse. You can grow your hair long. Please, to waist length, whatever. You can do it. There's no excuse. So that's out of the way. Skin tone is out of the way. And then there's the people that will say, oh, well, there's featurism. My nose is so big. Well, that has nothing to do with you being a descendant of Africans. Your nose being big on your face is just because you have a big nose on your face. Period. And people of every ethnicity have big noses. As a matter of fact, if you look up, if you Google big nose woman, let's see what comes up. I'm just gonna share this screen and see what happens when we Google big nose woman. Okay, let's do that from here. Just gonna do it from here. Big nose woman. We don't even see one black woman in the first two rows of images. We see big nose women of the so-called preference. So big nose woman is not just a black thing. Okay, and then we get to one, I see one unambiguous black woman and her nose is cute. Like her face is cute. To me, anyway. Miss Big Nose, that's what the article is. Let's see what it says. The coming of age love story between a black girl and her big nose. Aw, girl, your nose is not that big. No one has ever complimented me on my nose. Your nose can be big, but it can also be complimentary to your face. My nose is, I have a nose kind of like hers, actually. And it's not my best feature. I have considered a nose job just to like bring the bridge out, but I still have a cute face. And you know what else? There's so much more to life than just being pretty. And, you know, everybody isn't going to look like a model. I'm just happy to be a regular person. I would say that I'm above average. I was in a beauty contest once and I got third place. And the girl who got first place went on to win the national title. So I think I'm in good company, but I know that there are beautiful women everywhere. And there's more to me than my face and my body and my skin tone. You know, so I really just hope that this video made some sense. I appreciate you for listening. I'm going to go into the comments and see. Yeah, it's a scarcity mindset. Like there's not enough to go around. Like there's not enough to go around. I have shared the United States Census numbers a million times. I'm going to pull them up again later. But what we know is that until the age 55, there are more men than women in the United States of America. Until after our population hit 65, not 65, 55. So at 56, that's when it starts to kind of drop off. And why is that? Because men die. Men start dying off because they are just old and rusty, you know, not taking care of themselves, out here not working. So yeah, it's definitely a scarcity mindset, but I don't know why. Like I said, look at this United States Census. The numbers reflect that there are more men for women in every age group until the ages reach 55. So I don't know why that is a scarcity mindset. Maybe I'll bring that up. You know, hey, love, embracing my negative emotions and getting to the root of my fears is a new concept to me, but it works. It does work. Embracing fears that's your dark side. That's your shadow side. That's the shadow work that a lot of people speak of. Shadow work. That's how you can get into knowing what you need from life. And if you're being manipulated by someone based on your inner fears, you can clear that right on up, just getting in touch with yourself. It does work. I no longer project my negative emotions to the object of my jealousy because I'm working on me so that I am not jealous. Amen. That's the whole point of this. And it's not like I haven't ever been jealous. Hell, I've probably been jealous of a dark skinned girl. I mean, surely, why wouldn't I have been jealous? Oh yeah, because my ex in college, my ex boyfriend definitely dumped me with my light skinned ass and got with the dark skinned girl, and you know that's just a trauma. Like it happens, and I didn't ever think that. Oh, he's gonna come back to me because I'm light skinned. I didn't even think about that. It just, I don't know. It just never really. It doesn't cross my mind in that way. But what does cross my mind is that I know that I've had people come against me because they think that I think I'm better than them. They think that I believe that I'm better than them. And I've had people come against me, people that I have never even had conversations with. I'll give you one story. One time I was at the mall. This was in high school. I was in the mall with one of my best friends. There was a group of us, the four pretty girls, basically. So at my high school, we used to have a great time. I was pom pom captain and minority excellence organization president. I was just doing it, and I was in the mall with one of my good friends. And my mom and my stepdad and my brothers, they were not far away, but we were in Foot Locker, just picking up shoes, looking around. And suddenly, this lady, this older, unambiguous dark skinned lady, just starts kind of telling me, like looking at me, saying loudly, yeah, and you better stop talking about my daughter. Yeah, and you better stop talking about my daughter. And I was just looking at her like, that's interesting. What I didn't know who she was talking to. And then finally I realized she was really locked in on me. And I was definitely like a high school kid. I was 15. This lady was at least 41 with the 90s mama haircut that she definitely got done in somebody's kitchen. It just wasn't something that I anticipated happening when I was in Foot Locker with my friend. And she got closer to me in my face because I was like, I don't know your daughter. I don't even know your daughter. She kept repeating that. You better stop talking to my daughter. And her daughter was close. Her daughter looked like she was probably in junior high, skinny kid who I'd never seen, didn't know her name, never met. This lady, this mama, pushed my little bony ass into the wall. This big, unambiguous, dark-skinned mama pushed me into the wall, into some clothes. And of course, I was like stunned, but I did punch her in the head, definitely a couple times, but she was a big mama. She took me down. And then her son or somebody came in, a man. He was probably about 5'11". He comes in, he was at least 28. He comes in and pushes me and like bum rushes me. These are strangers, y'all. I don't know these people. They are attacking me for talking about a child who I didn't even know. The only reason that I can say that happened with so much vigor is because I was a cute girl and her daughter looked like a scarecrow. Anyway, unbeknownst to her, my mom is crazy as hell. My unambiguous dark-skinned mom is crazy as fuck. So she was in a store not too far from me, and I called her from the Foot Locker phone because I did not have a phone. That was before cell phones really came out, but my mom had one. So I called my parents, and they rushed over. My stepdad came in. He's like 6'4", hat to the back. They're about to go get ham on these folks. Go get about it for me. because they don't, I'm not from that punk life. Like my parents, they're not scared or fearful, and I wasn't either. But I wasn't able to defend myself against some stranger's mama who had some real venom toward me and a random man. So anyway, I think the police ended up getting called. It was so long ago, but I just remember that being attacked by this woman who I'd never met, whose child I'd never seen and never uttered one word about. Um, Girl, yeah, I had to call from the Foot Locker phone, the landline. But it just really baffles me how much venom can be spewed because of internal jealousies, internal dialogues that makes it seem like attacking someone is okay for saying something. And I hadn't even said anything. But where does that kind of anger and aggression, that quote unquote black woman aggression, where does that come from? It comes from the bottled up jealousy. It comes from the bottled up feeling of I'm lesser than. It comes into manifestation because they want to show dominance. They want to show importance. And the only way they can do that is through aggression or through being loud or through some kind of physical outburst. Maybe that's it. That's just my psychoanalysis. And I'm not saying that this is all. And if you think that I'm talking about all and every, then you are intellectually disingenuous and need to get on up out of the dollhouse, baby, because we will run you up out of here. So I don't know. I definitely know that there are more stories like that about being attacked randomly by strangers, and also about things you may run across online about people saying things about rappers like Latto, like how she's only famous because she's light skinned. No, she's not just famous because she's light skinned. She's famous because she's light skinned. She has a pretty face, a BBL. She's bold enough to rap. She's got big, pretty white teeth, and a long blonde wig. So that's why she's famous. It's not just because she's light skinned, okay? It's because she's gleaming. It's because she talks that shit. It's because of so many other reasons. Not just because she's light skinned, but yes, perhaps her light skin did gain her some favor. But whatever you have, honey, like Ronnie said in the Players Club, you better use what you got to get what you want. You better use what you got to get what you want. That's all I'm gonna say about it. So, listen, y'all, I really appreciate you joining me on a Sunday. Or what day is it? I really appreciate you joining me on this Friday night. And if you're getting ready to go out, maybe have a cocktail, be careful out there in these wild streets. I don't know, I might put on a little lipstick and step out and see what the daddies are doing. But whatever you decide to do, be pretty. Talk to you later.